Haha, hello and greetings from the channel Northworthy Sagas and Stories. I am your host, Bragi, the son of Magnar, and I am, as you know, a Viking, a warrior and a poet. And today I am with my very good Viking friend,
Egil Thorsen. How do you do there? I also am a warrior, a trader, merchant, runecaster, storyteller, and a bit of a historian.
oh yes, something we don't often advertise, that you are a historian.
Well, don't be fooled by my Peter Pan looks.
I can guarantee in the future you're going to get lots of requests for collabs from channels like the History of Vikings, which is a new YouTube channel I've been watching recently. And I'd just like to say hello to History of Vikings. He did a very good interview the other day with Dr. Jackson Crawford, and I found that thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah.
Now today we're going to talk about banners in the times of the Vikings, and especially a banner called
The Raven Banner. Now, it has been called the Landwaster flag, and it's basically a simple triangular shape with three tassels coming off. In Norman times it was called the Gorfanon. However, this is a particular banner. It's white, and embroidered on it is the image of a raven. Now, Odin had two ravens, Hugin and Mugen,
oh yes,
thought and memory. Now, the man who carried this, if the wind blew and the raven looked like it was flying, meant victory. If it just flopped, it meant we're going to lose. Either way, the man who held the banner, which is called Milkus Madri, or marked man, would be killed. It has been surmised, and I think not without a grain of truth, is what are you doing?
getting some meat out, I'm hungry.
All right.
Carry on.
Thank you. The Raven Banner itself, the bearer of it would be seen as a sacrifice to Odin. Odin, of course, being the god of battles. So, yeah, okay, we've got the banner flying and everything else. Even today in Norway, the Norwegian Secret Service on their official arms has got two ravens, thought and memory.
That's interesting, that really is.
Also, some units of the Norwegian army have the raven as their emblem, which again, I mean, it's part of their tradition, isn't it? I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, of course.
So, banners themselves, there are talk in the sagas of certain people being presented by a stranger on the seashore. Odin?
Would that be Odin?
Yeah. But the Raven Banner itself, as I say, would be sent out to the front, because Odin, he likes a good battle. So that's the Raven Banner for you. Have any survived? Not as far as I know. You may correct me if you find out, but
I'd be interested to know that.
yeah, but I think if you're going to kill the guy who carried it, he probably took his banner with him, you know.
So in like the modern times, in the 19th century, when the standard for a prized possession to be captured, would that be the same in the Viking times?
Oh yeah, I mean, right from the time of Romans, you know, your colours were your regiment. It's the same even in the First War. You know, your colours were what your regiment are, and there's big ceremonies. You had to troop in the colour on the Queen's birthday. Well, in my regiment we used to have certain days where, you know, swords and medals would be worn and the colours were presented by a member of the royal house, usually Princess Anne in my regiment, which doesn't exist anymore.
What, Princess Anne or the regiment?
No, the Worcestershire Sherwood Foresters, unfortunately.
Good regiment.
Yep.
God bless them.
And so was Princess Anne.
Yeah.
She was all right. But again, it's that tradition of banners, showing who you are.
And who would have made the banners?
Well, the Landwaster banner was apparently made by one of the Viking queens.
Oh.
and presented. Again, you know, is that
What a gift.
Yeah, but you see, again, we had this today with the member of the royal family presented to the regiment. Same was that, you know.
So it's a very old tradition then, really.
Oh yeah, it goes way, way back. But when you see bands marching on, you know, they've got the horsetails hanging off the standard. Now, originally you had the heads of the slain hanging from that and the scalps. So it's a bit more, we've sanitised things a bit now.
So you're in a battle and your bannerman goes down. Would a man pick it up and carry the banner again to carry it on the battle?
Personally, I wouldn't, because you're going to end up dead anyway, but possibly, yeah.
That kind of reminds me of when I'm doing the making some war reenactors with the Confederates, when the bannerman goes down and the next guy gets it, and whatever they do, they never let it drop on the ground, because that really is an insult to your banner to do that. So you see Confederate after Confederate dying, but holding the banner and passing it on.
Isn't that the same with Old Glory, the American Union flag? It's not allowed to touch the ground.
Well, it is not allowed to touch the ground. You cannot let your regimental flag or your Union national colours touch the ground.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if that's the same in this country, but...
no, because when you see parades in this country, when they lower the flags do touch the ground.
Yeah, because I mean, in the armed forces you raise the flag at the morning and lower it at
What
night.
would the banners be made out of?
Probably silk.
So very costly.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, trade routes were open in what we call the Viking times. There's a lot of things you see change, because in China there was this massive war between the clans and it closed off the silk routes. So after between the 6th and the 12th century, you don't see things like silk, gold and garnet jewellery, because the source of the garnets has been cut off. Oh. So if you find a golden garnet brooch, for instance, you know it's either 6th century or 12th century, and usually there's bits in between the giveaways. But it's the same with silk. And again, Derby has an affinity with silk.
Of course so, yes.
It's the first time...
The silk mill?
Yeah, the silk mill. We had silk for years and years and years. But to spin it, you need a constant thread. Now, they couldn't do that. They got this thread, it was circular, then it got corners on it and everything. And John Lom, after a long sojourn, copied the blueprints from Piedmont in Italy and came back to Derby. There's a lot of hoo-ha about it, but we haven't got time to go into that. But the fact is, he made a fortune and mysteriously died because of it.
I don't have any kit with silk in it, really. It's a very luxury item to have.
Well,
I bet you'd like some, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. Well, the silk that we think of is not the silk they had.
Right.
When you talk of silk, it's more like embroidery.
Yeah.
And when they were digging up at Jorvik, they found a lady's head covering.
Oh.
I call it head covering because it's not really a scarf and it's not really a shawl, but it's made of silk and it was peach coloured. They have that on display for years. But it's basically, imagine an oblong folded in half with two bits to tie underneath. Very simple. Very, very expensive. So they were weaving silk. Yeah, banners, you make the banner.
Where would the Vikings got silk from then?
Trading, they even traded as far as India. We found Buddhas, there's indigo dye that comes from India, obviously. And the Indian nation would have traded with China. Who knows, China could have even come down as far as
It's amazing, really. You think about how far the Vikings went and how far they traded. You know.
Well, it's a different kind of mindset. If today you think of the sea as a barrier.
You do, yes.
But in those days, it was a highway.
Well, of course so.
It's better than the roads because you don't have to repair it.
Well, no.
And it's very difficult on the sea. Well, you've got pirates.
Let's just hope you're not in a massive storm trapped between Greenland and Iceland.
Yeah, well, no doubt the bottom of the ocean around there is full of Viking
Yeah,
wrecks.
and Thor's hammers.
Yeah. Well, the North Sea they actually found. They dredged it and there was part of a longship they found.
So, in your experience of reenacting, have you ever been a bannerman?
No, I've avoided it like the plague. If you carry a flag of any description, everyone hones in on you. I'm not a coward, I just want to stay alive.
And we'd like to thank Odin, our subscriber, for asking you us this question.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Yeah.
It does show that if you ask for us to do a piece of content, we will do it.
Yeah, we'll try our best.
You know,
for
you may not see it for a few weeks because of the back catalogue of content we have at the moment, which is awesome.
It's also when I can get hold of a computer to research these things and find the references in the books. But please keep doing it. We'll do a feature called Egil Underground, which is talking about archaeology and history. If I'm wrong, fair enough. If I'm right,
well,
great.
We're not perfect. We are going to make mistakes.
Yeah. But,
And perhaps we need a banner. You know, what kind of motive would we have as a banner for Northworthy?
well,
There's a question for you.
deer in the park.
Deer, yes.
Yeah.
Or ram.
A ram. Yeah. But if anybody wants to have a go at making one or designing one, send it in. Let's
I
have
think
a look.
Odin did ask me whether I made a banner before, and I haven't, I'm afraid.
Right.
I've never done any embroidery yet for this era history, the Viking Age. And let's not forget the age of the Saxons as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So, for now, as always, I'm your host, Bragi. I thank you for watching this video. You're totally awesome if you got this far.
Yeah.
And we totally love you for it, don't we,
Certainly
Egil?
do.
And don't forget, if you've got any more suggestions for content we can provide and make for you, so we can entertain and teach you a few things about the Dark Age history, then you know what to do, don't you, Egil? What to do?
Leave us a comment.
Leave it in a comment.
And any subscribers, we want you.
And now I've had my lunch, we're going to say goodbye. Was hail,
Was
good
hail.
health,
Goodbye.
and thank you very much for watching.
Bye.